Benjamin, is mooi beste wat.
It's quite bright. My goodness, that's bright. That is really bright. Hello everybody, so just continuing with the review of the Lumeo headlamps. So I just got my package with my Lumeo stuff. I took the deal package, which gives you, well, at the time, which was about 2 weeks ago when I ordered, you could get 2 headlamps with either a flashlight for free or an extra headlamp, which is this package here. So I've opened them up, as you saw earlier. Yeah, just gonna see how this thing actually works. So this is one of the 2 lamps that I got. The other one is still in here, and the flashlight that came with that package. So you can take a look, you can see the buttons there, up here. The flashlight is on that side, and this bit here is the LED strip. So it looks cool, the build quality looks good. Just try on the strap. Just quickly adjust it here. It's a little too big for me. It's quite easy to adjust. It's not really a complex strap. So let's quickly take a look. I wonder how this wave on and off thing works, but let's see. Let's maybe fire it up and try and figure it out while it's still here, so that obviously turns the light on. Okay, that doesn't seem to do anything, so let's maybe press that. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit iffy, right? Okay, so this is on, and that is off. Okay, just took a little bit there. So yeah, I actually heard about this, slight movements to turn it on as well, or off, either way. But yeah, so to show you guys, I'm just going to put it off again. Okay, well that didn't go off, that just instead of the strobe, disco lights. So let's try that again. So that's off now, okay. Yes, that's off. So the power button is right there. So you press that once. Okay, I suppose it's gone back to the strobe function because that's where I left off. Press it again, I think that goes off. Press it again and that should be on. Right. And then next to the power button, Not sure if you can see this so well, but that's the button to activate the motion sensor. So currently mine is off. You can see this little light indicator here. It's red, so it's off. And if I press the motion sensor button, that illuminates to sort of orangish red color, but that kind of indicates the motion sensor then at this point now is active. So I think doing that turns the light off, that turns it on. So that turns it off, and forward motion turns it on. So the backwards motion off and the forward motion on, which doesn't always work, as you just saw. So that's what I've come through. I saw a couple of comments online about this, that it gets a little bit it gets a little bit weird sometimes, with other slight movements causing it to either go off or on. So that could be irritating if that was not your intention at the time. But it's a nice feature to have if, you know, when you're working on your vehicle or you're out at camp in the middle of a braai, your hands are dirty and you don't necessarily want to touch the switch, you know, then it works. It just means that if somebody was to pass by and say hello, it would go on or off, depending on what the current state is. But yeah, other than that, it's not too bad. Okay, so let's just press it again and make sure that's off, on. So that's the higher, more intensity, more light intensity. I think that's the headlights on the side, more intensity, and then that also goes up. So it's actually got both a low and high setting. I didn't know that, on the headlamp as well. So that's for pressing it once, it's going to give you the I think low intensity on the LED. Okay, well that's off, that's on, that's low intensity on the LED, and then that's on the headlamp on the side, that's low intensity on the headlamp, and then it goes off. So that's about it. Feels nice. It's nice and steady. Suppose once it's on, you get used to the button configuration, you can feel around and you can turn it on, and then we can put on the motion, and it's on and it's off. Well, off. I think this will take some getting used to. On, off. So it's almost like if you don't get the motion right and you accidentally come back, then it goes back on. But other than that, it seems to be a great light. Yeah, it will take some getting used to. But other than that, it seems to be a great light. Press that again to get the motion off. Then yeah, cool. So that's mostly all that I got in the package. This I haven't opened it yet, but this is basically the same thing, two of them, but I took the an extra headlamp, and with this one I took a flashlight instead. So speaking about the flashlight, let's quickly take a look at that. So it's nice and small, gives you some idea of size, and it's not really big. You can easily conceal it. It's got a nice little belt clip here, so that's pretty cool. You can put it somewhere on you, then it's out of the way. The construction feels quite strong. It feels like metal. This is also IP. Yeah, it's also waterproof, so it's got an IPX rating. And this moves in and out, I think, to control how far. It seems to say it's a 5-meter reach, have to try that. It's got this button at the bottom to turn it on, and it's also got the USB charging cable. The USB charging cable for this is different. It's not a USB-C like the headlamp, it's the normal USB charging cable. So just bear that in mind. I'm not sure why it's different. Would think it would be the same, but it's different. So there's a little LED strip here on the side of the torch. It's a button in the back, turn on the main torch. It's quite powerful. I mean, it's broad daylight. Quite a good job spotting. And this adjusts the spread. So that's not bad. You can see it getting bigger and smaller. So that's not bad, that's nice. You press it again and then you get your normal SOS function. And then when you press it again, you get the LED bar on the side, which I suppose could be quite handy in some scenarios. You could, I don't know if you could have all of them on. It doesn't look like you can. Yeah, so they both can't go on at the same time. It's either the main torch is on or the LED is on. They don't go on at the same time. But that said, the LED is quite bright. It's really quite bright. So yeah, that's basically it for the Lumeo. I'm gonna try it out on our next trip in a couple of weeks and see how it goes. We'd like to see how intense it is in the dark when we're out in the middle of nowhere. Gonna test the Lumeo lights, seeing that we've got load shedding. You can see the little spots there. There we go. It's not too bad. Put them off again, let's see. Other one, Bella. There we go. Yeah, the lights are off everywhere. So let's see. We've put off the solar as well. So let's see. Put it on, let's see how much light we get in. Look towards the wall. Let's see. It's a fair amount of light. Bella, put yours on as well. There we go. So it's quite a bit of light.
But it doesn't show where the house is.
Well, it's only a couple meters in front. So from that perspective, it's cool. It's quite a bit of light. I mean, it's good enough to, it's good enough to see what's happening in front of you for quite a few meters. Okay, well, you guys can play with that for a little bit. I'll put the solar back on. So we got some good conditions now to test out the Lumeo light. Power just went out. For those that don't know, load shedding happens in South Africa, so load shedding at the moment. I have got a solar system, but I just put it off just so that we can try this, because the majority of the light around me, the houses, the street lights and all that are off, so everything is really dark. So at least we can use this as a test before we actually head out in the middle of nowhere, so we have some idea how good these lights actually are. So currently I'm just standing in between my living room and my kitchen. Gonna put it on. It's the highest beam. It's dimmed on the highest beam, so it's currently using the LED bar in the front. That's the torch. So it's quite strong, right? That's the torch. So the torch on low beam, and then it's off. Back to the LED bar. This is on its full brightness, so this is the 230 degree view. You can basically see everything around you. As you can see, this is the only light that's on. Nothing else. So it's quite bright. And that's the dim setting with the LED bar. That's the highest or brightest of the torch on the side. So it's more focused light when you want more focused light. It's not too bad. And that is that same torch, but now on the dim setting. So that gives you some idea, more or less, of how much light it produces. Overall, not too bad. And that's with a headlamp. So now let's try the torch. Still in the same spot, halfway between my living room and my kitchen. That's the torch. It's not too bad. It's quite bright. And this is at its widest focus point. That's obviously the strobe. And that is the LED. So it's also not too bad. You can still see quite a bit. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next review. Cheers.